Be honest here, we all saw this coming, didn't we? I mean, it wasn't exactly a wondrous surprise to anybody really, because as we now know, alongside everything else that they've done so far, everything's sort of a half-baked project. But what was the real reason truly behind Meghan Markle deciding once again to postpone a topic, a subject that she was so passionate about less than 3 months ago, and she couldn't wait to get started, all the usual paraphernalia that's associated with a project, of course, from the House of Sussex. What truly went wrong? Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today on a very busy street here in the very heart of London. And of course, let me thank you so much for your lovely kind comments about our recent video regarding the originator of the wonderful movie, could have been a musical, Sunset Boulevard, alongside of course the very best Norma Desmond, Gloria Swanson. I know you enjoyed the tube, thank you. Very nice, very strange to be talking on a tube, you know, because I must just tell you a bit of technical stuff here. It's always good to share with you, isn't it? Certain tube lines, I tried this before, won't allow you to record. I don't know if that's to do with the Wi-Fi and the microphone. Here's me getting technical, eh? But nobody could tell me in the studio either. All the techie boys that work with you, they said no idea, and you think, well, I don't know. Thought I'd throw it at, well, you'll know. Yeah, well, you see, I could see straight off. I thought I could see you nodding. You know, don't you? Why can't you record on certain tube lines here in London's Underground? Now work that out. Let me know in the comments. You've already done it. Oh, you're a know-all, aren't you? There's always one, isn't there? Back as ever to your royal story of the day. I'm pulling your leg, of course, for those that don't know. Now, it's interesting, as I say, Lemonada was the big thing. A very low-key company. Not many people had heard of it, you know. I'd never heard of it, in fact, and podcasting isn't necessarily my thing. I don't know if you're from my world, but I just remember things like that being audio books that you borrowed from the library. You know, you sat down and listened to a good Agatha Christie or a Charles Dickens, or even a, more modern author who'd read his own book. Nothing's new, it just moves on. Too many podcasts, can't be bothered. Who wants to devote their time, you know? I like, the individual ones, but seemingly every celebrity now has a podcast telling you where you're going wrong with your life. And that was seemingly the idea for Meghan Markle. Now, what really went wrong with Lemonada was simply this. They did not pay an upfront fee. You know, the idea, the contract, which I can tell you I have seen, is now the idea, you see, the contract, which is, shall we say, being told to me directly, is the deal that simply it's about what you deliver. You know, there's no upfront money like Spotify, where they were giving her millions of pounds to sit and do nothing with 20 producers around her. Basically, you earned if you made. And obviously, Meghan has decided not to make. Now, the story goes is the fact that she's focusing this year on, of course, the lifestyle brand for Netflix. Reason why? Well, they're paying money and they need money. Harry and Meghan need money. They go through a lot of money. She's very expensive to keep, let me tell you. And as His Majesty the King said, he simply couldn't afford Meghan. Harry will find that out himself very quickly. But what's fascinating here is, you see, without an upfront fee, the bigger problem was, well, would you then devote time to something that may or may not work? Now, the real cause for problem for Meghan and for Lemonada, which is not going well, whichever way they say and want to spin it, is the fact that the Archetypes, the original series on Spotify, well, they've acquired that, Meghan owns that, and they put that out. Did it break any pots? Sadly, no. Very few people were listening or indeed wanted to revisit this particular groundbreaking series that allegedly was #1 in 47 countries. And what's interesting here is, you see, even in her narcissistic way, she has to look at it and go, would I now invest more time into something that may or may not result in instant money? And instant money truly is the name of the game. So far, Lemonada are remaining positive, but there's more coming out as we speak. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.